this busy time of year, a mom's headspace might look a little like this. Remember to get the teacher an appreciation gift. Don't forget the end of your dance recital. The baseball banquet is tomorrow night. Oh, and remember you're in charge of the pasta salad at that upcoming baby shower. Does that sound about right? It sounds like my life for sure. Well, it's called the mental load, and in some cases, it lands all on mom. So today, Studio 5 relationship contributor Dr. Matt Townsend will help you manage the racing to-do list in your head. Dr. Matt, welcome.
That just stressed me. I didn't know any of that was going on.
Which
is
were like
pretty typical, I think, right?
Okay, well, is that, because for me, I'm like, oh, it's just all the moms.
Yeah.
But are we right in thinking that?
Yeah.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah, and part of it is, I mean, we know statistically you're doing way more. But it's hard to weigh it down, right? We kind of have this historical mentality of, you pack it, I'll pay for it. You pack, I pay. And that mentality kind of has to go, because times have changed in a way. And the load that is really killing us, and I think especially our women, is it's killing us because they're carrying a mental load that's invisible, seemingly. And because it's seemingly invisible, that people aren't paying attention, except you're still carrying a massive load. So today I wanted to talk about how we talk about it, because if we don't start talking about it, and generally this is something that creates a lot of fights.
Yeah, well, I think that what happens is, if you've never done it, Matt Townsend, if you never knew what Marty was doing, how do you know how hard it is? Because you know she's planning a birthday party, but you don't know that means she has to find the food and cook the food and send out the invitations. I mean, there's like 50 things that go into doing a birthday party.
And then what will the guy say? Look, if you want help, just ask. But the mere fact that has to be asked is still part of her load. So the load is really mental, it's emotional. It's way more about responsibility than fairness of chore splitting.
Yeah, and so a lot of this, you say, is just about awareness. Yeah. And so that's why your very first thing you say is, like you said, we have to have a conversation.
That's right. You got to have a conversation about what's invisible, and we've got to learn to make it visible. And a lot of times we wait until we're in a fight, and then we blow up, and then you're like, you never helped me, and we're stressed, and then we don't talk, and it gets ugly. So what I want us to do instead is, let's say, hey, I was watching Studio 5, and they were talking about kind of this mental overload, and I'm feeling it. And what it does is it makes us burn out, and it makes us have resentment. And so, by the way, research is really clear. If we talk about these things regularly and in a safe, healthy way, it actually eliminates the burnout. It eliminates kind of the anger and the frustration between couples. So we're just going to have you bring it up. We're going to bring it up softly. We're not going to be accusing our partner like you don't help. You can just start to share what it means. Here, for example, this is what the mental workload is. This is the definition you can give your partner. It's the invisible workload in couples and families' lives. It refers to the ongoing, often unseen mental effort it takes to manage a household, relationships, and family responsibilities. And you can just say, and I feel really strongly, I know we're both doing our best, and I appreciate everything you're doing. I know you appreciate me. I think we just need to talk openly about the stress we feel about the loads we're carrying.
Okay, thanks for giving us the words, because I think that's a big hurdle a lot of times. Not only do we have to start that conversation, but you say that we can compare them honestly, but again, I'm guessing you're going to say, and calmly.
And calmly. And so one of the best ways I found to do this is, look, on a scale from 1 to 10, honey, what do you feel emotionally on your overload? 10 being incredibly overloaded, no more bandwidth, emotionally. 1 being, or mentally, emotionally, fine, life's great. And get a number, get a metric with them. Because he might say, I'm a 6. We've got, tax season just ended, I'm a 6. I was an 8 2 weeks ago, great, now I'm a 6. And then you could say, well, great, let me tell you what I am. I'm about a 10. And summer hasn't started, and the kids are going to be
coming home.
And then what we now have is a metric that we can keep going back to, which is kind of our overload metric, right? Another thing, we could ask her some questions like this. What's something you're constantly thinking about that I might not even realize?
I like that one.
And then all of a sudden he can share, you know what, I think all the time about the lawn. Like, our lawn is just dying.
And she's like,
I've never even thought of the lawn. Or another one, are there things you feel solely responsible for? Like, if you had to drop the ball, that's the only way I would notice it, if you drop the ball. And let them explain, what are those things that I'm not even aware of, that aren't on my radar? In what areas do you feel like you're always on call or expected to manage by default? Where are you always the default person? and then just talk those things out. And a lot of times your partner might, we'll work. Will I go to work? Yeah, I know, and I so appreciate that.
So calmly have these conversations. Make sure I could see them getting heated, so I'm staying calm.
Yeah.
How do we find that or rebalance if there ever was a balance?
So then we're going to try to rebalance it by just trying to say, look, I just feel like I don't want you to help me. I want you to own something and some of these things. Because I think, honestly, you'd be better at owning the kids' sports. You'd be owning, and then what we can start to do is figure out what can we offload. And part of this, too, is get very real about why we're here anyway. Sometimes as moms, we control too much. We want it to be our way. We don't like how they do it. Yeah. So you might have to offload some of those things and let them take some of that. You might be able to, at this certain stages, turn stuff back over to your kids and empower them to be in charge of their life. But I would literally define exactly what you're going to be the stewardship over. You're not the helpership, and you're not the chauffeurship. You're the steward here. So be in charge. You create the plan. You go to the meetings. You get the schedules. You take them to the doctor. And I'll be there as your backup whenever you need it. And then let's literally delineate what our roles will be. And once that's clearer, then you're going to have chaos. And then we're going to have to talk more. We're going to have to check in more. We're going to have to celebrate our wins more regularly. Every week I'd have a talk.
And then it might be a new normal that works even better.
And even if it just offloads 30%, it's going to feel better. It's way better. And we're finally partnering. And it honestly takes away a little guilt for the man. And a lot of times men, I see it when couples are divorcing, they don't have a clue.
Yeah.
They don't know the teachers. They don't know the doctors. They don't know any of this stuff. And so it actually lets us become a deeper part of our family.
These are all such good things. Cool. Thank you so much. Perfect time of year to do it. You can find Matt. He has a Becoming One program, drtmatttownsend.com.
drmatttownsend.com.
drmatttownsend.com.